So we continue on today with our series on my story, and we ask the question again, what's your story? Today we have Delwyn Woods sharing with us, and Delwyn might be someone that you know really well, but we're looking forward to hearing something new from Delwyn's story. So welcome, Delwyn. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking me to be here.
So first of all, I mean, many of us would know that you obviously brought up in a Salvation Army family. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that's right. My parents are Salvation Army officers. So that's all I've known is the Salvation Army in the way of churches. So we've moved around a lot, and yeah, it's looking back, I can really just know throughout all that time that I have felt God's presence always there, even though I didn't know at that time what that meant. Yeah, but it wasn't till my older years that I got deep into the Lord. But it was Launceston in Tasmania when I was 7 was when I first experienced the Lord in an amazing way, and that's when I first gave my heart to the Lord.
So what did God mean to you in that space?
At that particular time, it was in the middle of a meeting, and I just felt his comfort and his peace and his presence, and everything sort of release, all the burdens released from me.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was just overcoming. But from then on, it was just like, you know, a friend. It was very naive. I was young. I had no understanding of who he was. It was just like I had this friend that I had experienced with me, and then I just went on doing what I did.
Yeah, they're very big concepts for a 7-year-old to get their head around, really, aren't they? What you just explained, the presence and the calmness and the peace, they're big concepts for a 7-year-old to get their head around, and yet you remember it.
Yeah, definitely, because I knew it was God.
So you said earlier about when you were in your teenage years. So what happened then? Was there an experience then that was like a transforming experience, or?
We always went to commissioning, and I remember going to the town hall, sitting up in the balcony, looking down at everyone. And there again, it was when everyone was going to the mercy seat. And I didn't feel like I needed to go there, but it was just while I was sitting there, I could feel that presence again. And it just reminded me of that time when I was 7, where it had come back to me. And yeah, just I knew he was there in amongst everything that was happening. And then again, I just continued to go on as I was going.
So can you pinpoint a time when some of that changed?
Well, there wasn't one specific point. It was a gradual thing from then on. But it was mainly, I think, when I started going to Bible studies regularly, one particular Bible study, and I started diving into the Word more. And then when people started explaining it and from their point of view, and I just went, oh, wow, I'd never heard it like that before, or I'd never thought about it like that before. And it made me want more and to find out more. And then I started looking into it myself and started, to live, I guess, what you talk about and start living it more. There was one specific time that stood out to me, and that was when I went to a camp, and while I was there was at one point where they were talking about raising hands, and I'd always been, oh no, you know, people are watching and that sort of stuff. But this time I raised my hand, and that was just so releasing for me. And I think it's got nothing to do with me raising my hand. It was more just giving over to what God wanted me to do.
Yeah.
You know, and stop holding back. I had to give everything to him, no matter what that might look like in front of people and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and every time we've gone through so much. We've gone through a lot of things. It took us a couple of years before we could have Renee.
Mm-hmm.
Then after Renee, we went through IVF without success. And then we've tried to adopt without success. And then breast cancer and everything. And I think all the things you go through, it's just built, because I've had to cling to him, it's built my faith more and more because I've gone to him. Yeah. And that was the other last thing. I can't remember what they were talking about in one of the meetings, but it challenged me, and I realised I was putting Brett before the Lord. I was putting my family first, and I had to put him first. And once I made that initial change within my mind, then that really opened up a deeper relationship with God as well.
So do you think when you allowed yourself to raise hands in praise, whatever it might have been, there was a different concept of how you saw God within that? Was that a transformational change?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if it's how I saw God, but it was more me being prepared to be vulnerable. And I always said that I would be, I'm here, I'm giving you my all and all this sort of stuff. But in the back of my mind, I knew I really wasn't giving him absolutely all.
And so I guess, how has that, while it wasn't like a bang kind of moment, like it was more of a gradual growing in relationship with God for you, in your encounter with him, how has that impacted the way that you live your life?
Well, I don't think of myself anymore. I try not to.
We're all human, right?
But yeah, I'm very conscious of how other people feel and what they're going through, and how I can help that. It's just, I guess it's that faith is just so much bigger in the way that I know he has a bigger picture. I definitely know and am positive that he has me in his hand no matter what happens.
Well, thank you, Delwyn, for sharing with us today. Thanks for your honesty, your vulnerability. Thanks for being just open with us and with everyone who watches the video, really. It's been a pleasure to have you sharing with us.
Thank you.